Oh man, we are live. We are live. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Film Optics, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network, where we discuss film, TV, and everything pop culture related. I am your host, Christian, and I'm joined by my co-host, Devin. How are you doing today, man?
This was a rough work week.
Yes, it was.
God. It's
Amen
over.
to that.
It's finally over.
Seriously though, man, it is insane. And we are also joined by one of our guests, Jack. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm really excited.
Oh, dude, it's literally, we've just been, we've been thinking about, bringing more people onto the podcast and just having a good time, spreading the good nerd word. But before we begin, we'll be back right after this.
All it is, man. A leap of faith.
This is the way. Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Tells me the most momentous.
And we are back. Again, this is the Film Optics Podcast, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network. And you can listen to our podcast on platforms around the internet. And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Film Optics. That is Optics with an X for all of our latest announcements. So, gentlemen, well, actually, before we, start today, wanted to give Jack the spotlight a little bit. So tell the listeners, who you are, what you do, just a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. My name is Jack. I run the YouTube channel Fanatic Films, do movie reviews, movie content, geeky content, and run a blog called Fanatic Film Review, which does movie reviews as well. And just graduated from Arizona State with a degree in sports journalism from the Cronkite School of Journalism, and am currently unemployed looking for a job. So that is me. That's what I do. And again, thank you guys for having me.
Oh, dude, it's our pleasure. That's quite the resume, Devin. Can
ASU sounds fun.
It was a good time. Not the partying. I didn't do any of the partying, but the school was fun.
That's what's most important. That's where we go to school. Everybody, that's why we go to school. So that is why to get that the most expensive paper you'll ever buy in your entire life. So there's always that to look forward to. But yeah, man, that is quite the resume. Like I said before, we're happy to have you on, and let's dive into the news of the week. Of course, we always start with our news of the week for anyone who is new listening to our podcast, and then we will dive into our Wandavision episode 7 review. We don't want to give you the good stuff just yet. You got to wait for it. It's kind of like the news of the week is like the opening of a show. You have your openers, and then you get into the good stuff.
It's kind of like WandaVision. They're not giving us all the answers right away. We got to earn it.
Yeah, with time and patience, which a lot of people do not have nowadays. But let's start off today's topics today. So we have a lot of new trailers. Actually, we got 3 this week. Technically, we got 4 with I believe it was Invincible as well. Yeah, I think that one. Today. Yeah, that one dropped as well. But I guess we'll start off with the biggest trailer of the week that dropped on Valentine's Day. Zack Snyders' Justice League. I wanted to kind of go around the pod and get your guys' thoughts about it. I'm assuming that you guys watched it. I know Devin's not the biggest Zack Snyder fan, and to be honest, neither am I. But I actually wanted to give the floor to Zack. What did you think of the trailer? Are you hyped?
I mean, it looks good. I mean, the original Justice League is okay. I don't have the biggest problems with it like other people do, but hearing all of the background noise and stuff about what happened behind the scenes, I was like, okay, I kind of see where the difficulty comes from. But I mean, I think it looks all right. I'm excited to see what Joss added, like see the comparisons between what Joss had done and what Zack had done in his original thoughts, and to see some more of that character, some more of the characters that we didn't see, like Martian Manhunter, and see some more of those character moments that I think we're going to get, because I think in the original version, they cut a lot of the character moments to add jokes and action and stuff like that. So I'm very intrigued. 4 hours. That
Sweet Jesus.
That's what I'm worried about.
is
That's a long time.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic. So
Okay.
That's
All
a
right.
good way to look at it, because there's some people that are just like, no matter what, they're gonna love this movie.
Devin. No, I'm kidding. Devin's a big BVS fan for all you listeners out there. Well, the listeners.
I think you're the biggest BBS fan.
I don't know about that one, good sir. I do not know about that one at all. I mean, everyone knows about the theatrical cut of that movie. It's just, it just let me down. I was so hyped. I was so ready. And I mean, yeah, the Ultimate Edition does make it like better, but I mean, the Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's just, I really wish it was episodic because 4 hours is a really long time. And I mean, of course, we're going to be covering it right here on the pod, but like March is already stacked enough. And I think it's honestly a terrible placement. But it's literally the day before the Falcon and Winter Soldier premieres on Disney Plus. So I just, that doesn't sit well with me. It comes out on a Thursday. HBO Max usually does their Thursday releases, but I mean, the trailer looks interesting. I do want to see the differences. Like Jack said, I am intrigued on that front. It's just, if it ain't Lord of the Rings, usually I'm not sitting there for 4 hours, but I will sit there for 4 hours for Lord of the Rings, like the extended edition. But even then I have to break it up into like 2 and 2 hours and go from there. But let's move on to our next trailer here. We have the Cruella trailer with Emma Stone, starring Emma Stone. Did you guys get a chance to check this one out?
I did. It was interesting. I don't really know what to think about it because it feels unnecessary. Then again, most of Disney's live action type remakes do feel unnecessary.
Fair enough. Jack, what about you? What are your first thoughts about this grand trailer?
I mean, I tend to be in the same boat. I'm not really sure why. You know, that's kind of the question that I have is just like, why are we doing this? And what are we with this? I mean, I love Emma Stone. I think she's great. And I mean, that's probably the best part of the trailer is seeing her rendition of the character. But again, it just leaves me with the question, like, why? What's the point?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, I'll watch it, but I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy it.
Okay, fair enough.
I am Emma Stone Joker.
We live in a society.
Yeah, we didn't mention that in the trailer. Do we think
Devin did not like that.
Do we think he's self-aware enough to put that in there unironically, or is it?
What if Cruella said it? Like, I don't know. I mean, that line is so like deep into like the memedom that it's just.
But he said it with such a straight face.
A lot of people did not like that at all. I mean, like, I was like, okay, whatever. I don't really care for Jared Leto all that much myself, but I'm just gonna let him do him. And I mean, at least he has the damage, thing removed from his forehead. So I guess that's
we trade that in for we live in society.
That is very true. But moving on to our next trailer here, we have the Mortal Kombat trailer that dropped. I think it was yesterday. A lot of heads kind of got turned by this.
This one surprised some people.
Yeah, no, it really did. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts about this first. Jack, what did you think?
Yeah, so I honestly didn't really know a lot about Mortal Kombat. Never played the games, never saw anything about it. So I knew the basic premise of kind of what was going on. And I mean, Color Me as one of those people that was surprised. I mean, I had a feeling it was going to be okay. I knew that the older renditions of the films don't have the best track record in the world. But I mean, Color Me surprised. I think it looked really good. I think the action looks great. I think the story is being set up really well in just like a 2-minute trailer. And I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm sold yet, but I'm definitely going to be there day one watching it on HBO Max.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, just not having too much knowledge on the universe as a whole, but knowing just enough. And that trailer just kind of sold me on putting the world together with all these interesting characters and blood icicle daggers. That was just an amazing scene.
Yeah. Well, Devin, you know Seth's gonna have like a field day with this. Like,
Oh yeah,
100%. For those listeners who don't know, Seth is one of our really good friends from high school, and he like lives and breathes Mortal Kombat. Literally the only one out of our friend group who actively plays traditional side scroller fighting games, but is like really, really good at Smash. But like Smash Brothers is like the only side scroller fighter I'll ever really touch. But yeah, Seth is between Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, and so on and so forth. He just loves his stuff, especially Mortal Kombat. So I know he's probably jumping with joy right now. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I didn't really know what to expect because we didn't really hear a lot from this trailer or from this movie until now, and this comes out in April. So HBO's pumping out the content, man. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
Finally got a good movie with Judas and the Black Messiah.
Okay. Well, for a February release, that was really, really good. Did you get a chance to see it, Jack?
Yeah, I actually got to see it at Sundance. I covered some of Sundance, so I got to see it there, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite of the year. Another movie I saw at Sundance is my favorite of the year so far, but it's definitely top 3. I think the acting's really, really well done. I think the writing and direction are pretty good. I have a few issues, but overall, a pretty good way to start the year, I'd say.
Okay, yeah. I mean, like for a February release, that was like a really, really good film. Usually, I mean, God, what did we review last year? I think The Gentleman came out. I like The Gentleman personally. Devin was like so on it, but yeah, usually early like January, February movies are kind of meh. I mean, we get Tom and Jerry this month as well.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun. But moving on here, Devin, you want to take this next news story? The
Rian Johnson Star Wars trilogy is alive. It's still in the works, apparently.
Woo! Very, very exciting. This is probably one of the best things I've heard this week thus far, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it. Just I guess quick thoughts. I know there's really not much here. This comes from IGN. A few other places kind of reported on it as well. But actually, Jack, were you a big Last Jedi fan, or were you not so crazy about it?
I mean, I'm kind of in the middle on it, I'd say. I mean, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I wasn't in part of any of those camps. I mean, I liked. There were parts I really liked about it. There was parts that I was like, oh, you could probably cut that. But I don't, all the discourse around Rian Johnson, I don't really completely understand. Like, because then he went and made Knives Out, which was one of my favorite movies of 2019. So I'm optimistic about this. I want to see what it's about, where it's set, what the story is. And I know we'll get that, down the line when eventually these actually start to go into production, but I mean, it looks good. I mean, I'm excited about it.
I'm curious as to how this holds up, because I think I saw somewhere that the next open slot for a Star Wars movie is like 2027 or something.
Yeah.
We got a long way to go.
Yeah, they say they were pumping the brakes on the movies for a while, which I kind of agree with. It's time to kind of step back and go into the realm of TV, because honestly, that was probably the best move that they could have made. I mean, yeah, there's Marvel's kind of doing the hybrid type thing now with the cinematic universe, with TV and film, and needing to watch those TV shows in order for things to make sense moving forward with future MCU movies. But I think it's smart, especially for Lucasfilm going forward, especially the situation we've been in for like the past year coming up. So yeah, I mean, TV is the way to go, and I think a lot of people are starting to realize that. I mean, putting movies on streaming services does help, but like, I mean, if we're gonna go see Godzilla vs. Kong, you gotta go see that in theaters. Like, I'll probably try to go see it in theaters if I can, depending on what's open around me. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. We don't have too much else information about this, but I guess moving on here, Jack, do you want to take this next news story and let the people know the good word?
Yeah, and for me especially, this is good word because I love Florence Pugh to death. Apparently, according to the direct, she has arrived in Atlanta for MCU filming and looking like maybe Hawkeye. What are we thinking about this, guys? I mean, I love Florence Pugh. Her in the MCU, I can't get enough of that. I want that. I need that. With every cell in my body, I need that. So, what are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking about this?
Her as the possible Black Widow replacement is just such an exciting idea. Like, she is just so perfect for that role.
Yeah. Oh, she's my sweetheart. So that's all I care about.
See, I'm not the only one. See,
I think she's taken by Zach Braff somehow. So you got some competition.
That's not gonna last. That's fine. That's fine. And also a really quick shout out to Leo in the comments down here. Leo, if you want to hop on, you're more than welcome to, my man. I'll definitely send you an invite. I literally Leo and Zach Pope and I had a bit of a Princess Mononoke freak out. We did a little bit of a review yesterday, but yeah, Leo, if you want to hop on, you're more than welcome to. I'll send you an invite via Twitter if you want to hop on. But yeah, Florence Pugh. And by the way, they need to release Black Widow before Hawkeye finishes. So I think
that would be helpful.
I think they should just bite the bullet, do the whole premiere plus and in theaters. I know Devin's against it. I'm just more of the
I'm not against it. I just want them to rush their decision like WB did.
Oh, okay.
We got time.
Okay. I got you. I got you, man. But yeah, I'm just excited. Like, I'll watch anything with Florence Pugh in it. She's supposed to be in the Hawkeye series, so that's in Black Widow
and Haley Steinfeld.
And people want to complain that like we're getting a Hawkeye series. They're like, oh, he should have died. I'm like,
he's gonna be like the third main character.
Facts. Like, people are not gonna be tuning in to watch it for Hawkeye. They're gonna be tuning in to watch it for the lovely Florence Pugh and Haley Steinfeld. So hey, it is what it is, man. But let's move on here. We have Marvel Studios is going to be launching a new series called Assembled on March 12th. This comes from Murphy's Multiverse. That is just such a strange name. Very, very strange name. But it looks like it's a new documentary series of specials that goes behind the scenes of the shows and movies of the MCU. So I guess this is kind of like the Disney Gallery, like what they did with the Mandalorian. Yeah. And the first special for Assembled will be the making of WandaVision, which will be really interesting to see because, as we know, I guess there's more VFX within WandaVision than there was for Endgame, I believe. So I thought that was pretty sweet. But what do you guys think about this?
Just give me all the content, all the MCU content. I'm gonna eat it all up.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I'm kind of on the same boat there. I mean, I hope it's not like I'm really hoping it's not the gimmick like a Marvel Legends where it's like a 3-minute spot showing
that was kind of strange.
There. I'm hoping it's not like, sometimes they'll post those on Twitter like the 2-minute featurette. I'm hoping it's just not like 2 minutes. I'm hoping it's like full length like we got like with the Mandalorian, because I'd really like to see more in-depth interviews, more behind the scenes, because that stuff fascinates me.
Okay, yeah, I definitely agree with you there, because I would love to see how they made this show just come to life. And honestly, once WandaVision's said and done, I definitely think it's worth a rewatch when it comes to just kind of binging it and seeing how it fits in as a movie. And I'm sure somebody out there will probably try to cut it all together. So that would be pretty awesome to see. But we have some pretty big news that actually dropped right before we started the pod here. We have Sasha Cale. Is it Kaylee? Cale?
Kale? I don't know.
Kaye. She has been cast as the DCEU's Supergirl and will make her debut in the Flash film, which is huge.
Did you guys see the video of her being told she got the part?
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. It was fan-freaking-tastic. I absolutely loved it. Like, she was just all up in arms, and it's like it's such a life-changing event. And not only that, she'll be the first Latina Supergirl live action. So that's a pretty big step there. Say what you want about DC Warner Brothers when it comes to a lot of their 16, 17 slate movies, but they have always been a huge advocate for diversity, whether it be on the big screen, small screen, or even animated films. And it's just it's amazing to see. It truly is. But Jack, do you have anything you wanted to comment on this before we move on?
I'm just honestly excited for the Flash movie. I mean, he's one of my favorite DC characters, and I'm just excited to see how they open up this this universe more, because we got that Ezra Miller cameo in the Flash on the CW, and there's a lot of potential there in general with just DC as a whole. So I'm very interested, because I feel like this could be like a Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness that like opens up the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're kind of fighting to see who gets to the multiverse first.
Yeah, and I would say DC kind of already got there by like doing that cameo with Ezra Miller in the TV show, but I mean, we'll see. I think they're kind of neck and neck now with Evan Peters and WandaVision, so we're kind of at a tie right now.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. And we actually have a little bit of breaking news here. We have Laurel Marzin has been cast as Zoe Zimmer for Miss Marvel, the TV series hitting Disney Plus. Literally just popped up on my screen, so I thought that was pretty cool. She previously appeared in I'm sorry. She previously appeared in Quibi's Survive.
Hell yeah.
Opposite of Sophie Turner, she'll be playing the comic book character Zoe Zimmer. I'm not sure who that is when it comes to Miss Marvel. Jack, are you more? Look, we're knowledgeable about comics. It's just I don't actively read comics recently. It's been a long time for me. Do you?
I have no idea who this character is at all.
Me neither.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm intrigued by this series and seeing how it connects to the universe.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of as far as I'll go in terms of Miss Marvel so far.
Ms. Marvel is such a cool character. Like, there's so much potential there.
Hopefully she'll have, a better time within the TV show than they did the video game.
She was the best part of the game, so
yeah, she actually was the best part of the game. I will say that for sure. Absolutely. Anytime I see Quibi, I just start busting out laughing, because Devin and I did a little we did a little bit of a review coverage of it, and boy, it was rough. But I think was it someone bought them out, and I can't remember who it was. But I'm drawing
Roku.
Was it Roku? Okay.
Some of their catalog.
I'm so sorry. I should not be laughing right now.
It's funny there.
Oh man. All right.
Out back.
Yeah. So there we go. Some breaking news, like right there in the pot for you guys. Congratulations. I can use that for so many things. I absolutely love it. So let's move on here. Devin, you want to take this next bit of news? I wasn't entirely sure if this was like worthy, but I kind of just threw it in there. If like
classic Bro Bible.
Yeah.
Source here.
Yeah.
Bro Bible is telling us that HBO Max's Constantine will tie into J.J. Abrams' Justice League Dark series. Ooh. And it will not be Keanu Reeves. They are recasting Constantine.
Sadly. Yeah. I wonder who's going to be. I mean, I actually hope they get a British person for this, because, I mean, that is of his backstory. And there's not many Americans who can do a really, really good, like, British accent out there, unless their name is Emma Stone, of course. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for this. I thought it was interesting. I thought I'd throw it in there. Jack, do you have any thoughts about this?
Yeah, I mean, I think that sounds cool. I mean, it's more, expanding different types of universes. I'm all for expanding universes, and I'm going to keep saying that. I love the expansion of universes in the comics and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked the character of Constantine whenever he showed up in like the Arrowverse and stuff like that. So I'm intrigued. I think it'll be cool.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, there's not too much information about this. It's yet to be officially confirmed which DC characters will factor into Justice League Dark series, but Constantine was part of the team, so I think they're gonna have other heroes like Swamp Thing and Madame Zandu and Deadman and Dr. Miss, among others. Yeah, Bro Bible always coming in hot. They actually have their own podcast, the Post Credit Podcast, and actually one of my newer podcasts I've been listening to. So they're pretty good over there. I like them a lot. So shout out to them. Absolutely. So let's move on to this next huge piece of news. Actually, we have Donald Glover leaves FX for a multi-year contract with Amazon. This man is putting in work literally everywhere he goes. I think he's going to be signing on for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the reboot with Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be really interesting.
That's a duo I want to see on screen right there.
Yeah. It's been a while since we saw Donald Glover on screen. Oh, he's been doing Atlanta. I think they're doing the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, Atlanta's staying on FX.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're filming those back to back actually, so that would be pretty cool. But I don't know. Any other comments, questions, concerns about this? Anyone? No?
Wherever this man goes, I will follow. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I see.
He's the Messiah.
He literally is, man. Like any project that he's attached to, I'm just like immediately just interested in. And I mean, he knows how to pick them. And hey, so does Pedro Pascal. So. That's all I gotta say. And Bella Ramsey, shout out to her. But all right, Jack, you want to take this next bit of news, and then we'll kind of wrap up here in a little bit.
Yeah. So Jesse Plemons, who's he's been in a few pretty good movies the last year or so. He has been cast in Martin Scorsese's next movie, Killers of the Flower Moon. He is going to lead the cast. Apparently he's taking over the role that Leo originally had, and Leo is moving into a different secondary role as I think like the nephew of Robert De Niro's character. So Jesse Plemons is going to be playing the lead, I guess, FBI agent that's investigating De Niro's character. And this is very interesting to me. I read this news, I think it came out a day or so ago, and I'm very intrigued. It's safe to say I am very intrigued. What do you guys think about this news?
Well, we've been Jesse Plemons fans since, like Mike.
like Mike. I didn't know he was in Mike. There, but that screenshot was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I was like, he was in Like Mike. I was like, I've been a fan since day one, man. I mean, Jesse Plemons, he knows how to kill it. I mean, we saw him recently in Judas and the Black Messiah. He was in oh my gosh, what else was he in? Was he in nope, that was Matt Damon. Never mind.
He was in Game Night.
Of course, Breaking Bad as well. The dude's all over. He was also in I'm Thinking of Ending Things on Netflix. I'm not sure if anyone caught that.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste. I liked some parts of it for sure, but yeah, it was very interesting. But Jesse Plemons, he knows how to pick him for sure. And I mean, everyone loves Martin Scorsese. There's been a bit of Marty discourse going on this week. Did you guys hear about that? He was saying how cinema's like essentially, I don't want to misquote him. I think Devin showed it to me earlier this week. It was something about him thinking that
he just talks a little too much sometimes. Just a little too much. Like, we get it, Marty.
Yeah, it's kind of like the way that cinema is going, it's not the same. And the word content means something different now than back when. I can't really say back when Marty's prime because he still pumps out really good movies. But yeah, differences of opinion there for sure. But I mean, it is what it is. People people are going to consume media no matter what. And, I know that I'm not the biggest Zack Snyder fan, but like, I still think it's awesome that people are getting a 4-hour film that they can watch at home at their own leisure and just, this thing has been in the works for like 4 to 5 years.
But don't you dare call it content. It is not content. Martin will strike you down.
Yeah, he's and he's entitled to his own opinion. Everyone got on him because what was it? He was saying with Marvel movies that they're more of a they're like theme park rides, and I'm like, I had to think about it for a bit, and I was like, well, I guess that makes sense, but I don't agree with everything he says. But it doesn't mean that he's seen it all. He's been to the moon and back, so it's just. It's literally just the way we are consuming media now today. It's just so different, and it's never going to be the same. I mean, so like even with like weekly or binging shows, I know Devin usually leans more on the binging side. Get it all one and done. Consume that
painful.
media.
WandaVision has been painful, having to wait every week.
Okay, think about it. We would have been done with WandaVision like weeks ago. What else would we have been covering here on the pod or just?
I understand the merits of it, but it's still painful.
Hey, all I got to say is everyone out there is complaining about WandaVision, saying it's too slow, or the same people who sat in front of their TV week to week and watched Game of Thrones all the way through. That's all I have to say. But Jack, what do you kind of land on with the whole binging versus week to week? Which way do you usually like to consume your media?
I think it kind of depends. I mean, I've been trying to catch up on a lot of older TV series, so I've been doing the binge, obviously. But with something like WandaVision, it really, I don't think it's necessarily the week by week aspect that like personally makes me angry about it. I actually kind of like that because it's like what you said about how if it had all come out in 1 week, well, okay, what have we done for the last 6 weeks? We wouldn't have anything to cover, anything to talk about, because we talk about it all up front. The thing that I don't like completely about it is the way that they leave us on cliffhangers every episode. So like episode 5, like the cliffhanger at episode 5 with Evan Peters, fantastic. It was brilliant. But then like episode 6, it was like, okay, well, we had this 30-minute episode and we didn't really do anything. We had a few conversations and Wanda got pissed, and that was kind of it. And that was the part that kind of frustrated me about episode 6, is that all we did was we added more questions to the already big pile of questions we had, and we didn't have any answers. And with a show that's only 9 episodes and 6 of the 9 are like 30 minutes long with like an hour and a half of credits, you can't do that, without people getting mad. The only episode I've had an issue with is episode 6. The rest of the episodes I really haven't minded, and I do like the week to week. It's like an event at 1 a.m. every Friday morning.
all you 3 a.m. 1 a.m. warriors out there, everyone's like, oh my gosh, Disney Plus has crashed, and people got mad that the server crashed. And I was like, okay, this isn't anything with like, oh, Disney should have thought ahead. This is just how technology works. Like literally, if you're trying to buy a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, 9 times out of 10, yes, the scalpers are going to beat you. But like, there's so much traffic flowing in to that website at once. There's no way that it's going to be able to keep up with everyone's. Everyone's trying to tune in and watch it. Everyone's trying to tune in and watch the new WandaVision. I'm assuming it's going to be the same way with Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki, so on and so forth. But yeah, I am more so with the week to week. I just like it because it gives me the opportunity. It feels less like a chore, which is weird because it sounds kind of counter, productive, because it's like, well, chores are you have repetition, you do it every single week, whatever. But that's just how I like to consume it, because it gives me the option to kind of explore other things. I don't have to like feel like, okay, well, I had to sit down this entire weekend or like majority of my day on Saturday and watch this entire episode. I'm not gonna lie, when I watched Stranger Things season 3 on the 4th of July because I think when it came out 2 years ago, like I didn't really have any plans to do anything, but like I was so drained like after watching everything. And it's like, yeah, I got to watch all of it in one day, but like I was just so drained, so exhausted. Just I was pooped. I didn't want to do anything else. I was like, well, I really don't know what else to do with the rest of my day. I don't know what else to watch. So I guess that's, we get to build that community, spirit when it comes to, the week to week discourse on Twitter and whatnot. So that's always a good thing. But let's move on to our last bit of news here before we get into our WandaVision episode 7 review. We have Daniel Kaluuya and KeKe Palmer will be expected to join Jordan Peele's next horror film. This does come from Collider. Devin and I are huge, Jordan Peele fans, and I finally saw Us. It was like I think last year or something like that. I bought it during Black Friday, and I was like, I guess I'll watch it now in broad daylight. I'm not the biggest horror fan out there. Devin will definitely tell you, but I've been better about it lately. But do you guys have any?
I'm definitely the horror guy here.
Yeah,
I love everything
so.
Horror.
Him more so because I just like I love like thrillers and like suspense. Like,
well, I think that's more of what Jordan Peele does is a thriller, suspense type.
And I think that's why I'm able to watch his movies over like I still haven't seen It Chapter 2, and I'm like I probably just won't, but yeah. Things like that. But like, see, I love Midsummer. I don't know what it is. I love that movie.
Well, that's because it's Florence Pugh.
Oh, of course. But do you guys have any thoughts, comments, concerns about this so far?
Well,
I don't know.
It's interesting because the role was originally Jesse Plemons, the lead role in this film. He dropped out of it in order to pick up the Martin Scorsese film that we mentioned earlier. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Jack, you got any thoughts about this? Are you hyped? Are you whelmed?
I'm intrigued. I mean, Daniel Kaluuya, I'll kind of follow him wherever he goes. And, Jordan Peele as a director so far has a pretty dang good track record. And KeKe Palmer is an interesting casting. I haven't seen her in anything in a long time, at least I can remember. I'm intrigued. Yeah, I'm not a big horror guy either, but I'll watch it. I think it looks interesting. I think, I'll follow Kaluuya to the end of the earth.
I seriously, him and Lakeith Stanfield, I really will. Like, even though I didn't like Uncut Gems, I did like Lakeith Stanfield in that, and Kevin Garnett. But Adam Sandler, it's time to move on.
Role of his lifetime.
It's time to move on. Oh man. Anyway, we won't get into that. So that pretty much covers all of our news stories of the week here, and we're about to just hop on into our WandaVision season 1 episode 7 review titled "Breaking the Fourth Wall." So let's just jump right in. God,
you gotta play the Agatha song. That's the new banger.
See, I was trying to find it online and I didn't have time because I was working at the time, and I'm like, well, I probably could have found it if I dug deep enough, because it took me a second to find this on YouTube. I had to like rip it and then edit it out and take that small little piece out from, I think that's from like the very first episode, but it's just so, it's quick, it's snappy, it gets you in the mood. So we're going to be talking about WandaVision episode 7, Breaking the Fourth Wall, as I just said like 2 minutes ago. And of course, this is going to be all spoilers. So you have been warned. 100%. We're just going to dive straight in. So I'm assuming both of you guys have watched it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And Jack's going to be like, wait, what? He's like, I thought we were doing a pre.
I'll see you guys later. I got to hop out now.
But yeah, so let's just get into it. Agatha. It was Agatha all along. Agnes.
Agatha Harkness. Agnes. We all knew this was coming.
Yeah. Yeah, we really did, and I'm tired of the whole Mephisto stuff going on.
He could
I
still
don't
be
think
there. He could still be there.
that is true. I mean, it's just I've heard so many. It's like, oh, is this Mephisto? Is this Mephisto? And it's like, but there's so many things, so many questions. Like Jack has said, WandaVision leaves us with all these questions, like week to week. We get some answers, but I think that's what makes it such a great show, is that like you literally cannot just wait until next week. It kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones, where it's like, the hype was there. Everyone was talking about Game of Thrones. There was these huge cliffhangers, essentially almost every single episode. And it's like, we finally get this reveal in WandaVision episode 7, and it's like we all thought that it was Mephisto or somebody else, or even Dottie, who we only saw for a hot second in this episode. I need to go back and rewatch this because I rewatched last week's, and I do feel like these definitely warrant rewatches, just to because I feel like there's a lot of things you might miss. But I wanted to get your guys' first initial thoughts of this week. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I guess we'll start with the 1 a.m. weekend warrior over here. Jack.
He saw it before either of us.
He saw it before the rest of the world.
He had more time to think on it.
It was the first thing, it was better. And then that was the thing. I gave episode 6 not the friendliest review. I think it was just more out of frustration than anything. And I kind of already touched on it earlier. This was better. I liked, I wasn't the biggest fan of how they dealt with the sitcom stuff this episode, besides Vision's interviews. Those were the best thing I've seen in this entire series so far. Like, I loved that. It was hilarious. But I mean, this show, the thing about this show is it's the last 5 to 10 minutes, usually every episode, that counts. You get a lot of, just kind of sitcom antics, people doing things. And then you're waiting for the last 10 minutes to see, okay, well, what's going to happen? And this, it was a great way to tee up Agatha, because like you had said, we all kind of already knew that this was going to happen, or we had been hinted at that was who she actually was. But the way they pulled it off, I kind of enjoyed it. I mean, the theme song is really cheesy, but I kind of thought it was funny. And, getting a behind the scenes look at what she had been doing since the beginning, I mean, I kind of dug. And I mean, Catherine Hahn is fantastic. So I'm very interested to see her go up against Wanda and all the other 75 characters that are supposed to show up by the finale.
Luke Skywalker's going to show up, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, the whole crew.
Yeah, but it was good, and thank God they showed her controlling Evan Peters' character, because I was gonna die on the hill that he is playing the Fox Quicksilver. I was gonna die on that hill while everyone else was saying, "Oh, he's Mephisto, he's Mephisto, he's Mephisto." I'm like, no, I will not let that stand. And so the fact that, I mean, he could still be Mephisto, he could be whoever, I don't know, but the fact that we saw that she was controlling him makes me more inclined to think, okay, well, she might have plucked him out of the universe, brought him in, and has been controlling him this entire time. So hopefully, I want that so bad.
It's part of an answer. It's more than we've gotten before with honestly, Uncle Petey.
Yeah. And we also see Billy and Tommy, aka Speed and Wiccan, have disappeared completely. We don't know where they are. And if you follow the comics, I don't really want to say anything if you haven't really followed them. But I mean, I've known of them prior, and I kind of knew their storyline. But if you follow the comics, you know what they really are. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. But it's kind of starting to echo the comics a little bit, at least with the disappearance of the twins. And I don't know, Devin, I'll share my thoughts last, my initial thoughts, but go ahead with your banter.
I'm surprised, because it had to have been so tough to pull off the Agatha reveal for them, because they had to know that everyone was going to figure it out before the show even started, just because of the name they gave her. Like Agnes, Agatha. Like they had to know that people were going to figure that out. So for them to have this reveal and it be executed so well, it's where it's like that song is going to be stuck in everyone's head. And just showing that she was the puppet master the whole time, it was just so entertaining.
Yeah.
And we also got to talk about Monica Rambeau. She's getting her powers.
Yeah, she's gone by a lot of different names: Photon, Spectrum, Captain Marvel, even. Bless you, Manny. Sorry, I'm dog sitting. He just like sneezed out of nowhere. That was a powerful one too. Are you okay? You good? Okay, you're good. But yeah, I'm really excited to see it. Like, I was wondering how she was going to get her powers, because like we've been theorizing. Well, everyone's been theorizing. It's like, well, does she already have her powers? You know, because they kind of mentioned Captain Marvel, and she kind of goes on the defense there, and it's like, well, it makes sense with the whole Captain Marvel thing, because she, you know, of the Captain Marvel movie, for meeting her when she was a girl. So I thought that was pretty sweet. But like the way that the final time, you know, she's pushing through the hex, and you know, you hear her mother, you hear Monica's mother's voice, you hear Captain Marvel's voice as well. It was just a really nice like character moment. Like, it was only for Monica, and just kind of just,
and then her eyes light up, and you're like, oh yeah,
like, oh, it's turning Super Saiyan.
And then she nails the superhero landing later in the episode.
She does, and you know, it's like, all right, now she wants to test her powers up against Wanda. It's like, what? All right,
like, might as well aim for the top, aim for the stars, land on the moon. That's how it goes.
Yeah, I can take you now. I can definitely take you now.
That's some confidence there.
Yeah, but man, yeah, there's so much to unravel in this episode. By the way, really quick, the theme song was fantastic.
It was just The Office through and through.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Like, see, I loved episode 6. Not even like, I don't know. It was like either the Malcolm in the Middle kind of vibe, and it fits so well. And I was like, that was just a huge cliffhanger. We finally get some type of answers here, especially with. Actually, before we get into that, really quick, the aerospace engineer.
Yeah, we got to talk about that, because there's no way it's that disappointing. There's no way.
It wasn't disappointing. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's Reed Richards."
It's a nobody for now.
Yeah,
it's got to be something. Like they're just like how last week they had Agatha pretend that she was being controlled. That's what this was. This is another red herring. It's like, you know what, with Agatha, we should have seen this coming. We really should have seen this coming. Because it's like, you know, Devin and I were talking about, I think when the kids were aging up, you know, to kind of get away from their problems, they only aged up when Agatha was there. And it's like, well, where are they now? Are they full grown adults? I really don't know. It's just, man, oh man, there's just so much of this episode. But also, who's the real aerospace engineer? We need to know.
I think it
can't be random actress number 3.
Because so I think, because everyone was talking about how Monica Rambeau's the actress who plays her. I'm blanking on her name right now. I do apologize, but
Tiana Paris, I think.
Tiana Paris. Like, I don't know where someone pulled this from, and I also don't know where someone pulled the information that the last 3 episodes were going to be an hour long, when nobody reported on this whatsoever. Literally, it was just a picture, and it's like, oh, the last 3 episodes of WandaVision are going to be an hour long. Source Kevin Feige. I'm like, where?
Well, it's all coming from, because he mentioned it's going to be 6 hours long, so people were just starting to do math.
I feel like that was before they changed it from 6 to 9 episodes, though. Because WandaVision was originally 6 episodes, and then they changed it to 9. Unless they decided to unless they're cutting it different ways, I really don't know. But I don't know. It was just like I don't know. I didn't really like to assume, because usually season finales of shows tend to be longer anyway. And it's like,
this episode definitely, more than any of the other ones, I think, could have used some more time. This one ended. I felt we needed. I felt like we needed more, for sure. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Yeah, I was just saying, like, this more than anything just needed at least 5 more minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true, Jack. As you were saying that you like this episode more than last week's, did you want to shed a little bit more light on that, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of what you guys were just saying. I felt like last week's needed like 5 more minutes because I was like, okay, so the barrier's opening up, they're running away, and then it's just like, cut to the please stand by screen. I'm like, that's a really great.
Is the greatest MCU villain there ever was.
It's up there now. It really is. But I was like give us like 5 more minutes. Like, let's just see how it ends off. Let's see Monica and Jimmy meet up with the aerospace engineer who turned out to be, like you said, a random actress number 3. But I do really agree with like just like 5 more minutes, especially this episode as well. Like she gets like taken over by Agatha's powers or whatever, and then it's like, please stand by screen again. I'm like, come on, man.
There was a
mid-credit
scene, though. There was that mid-credit scene for this one, at least. A little something.
There was a mid-credit scene, and you could have easily missed it. Because usually when Please Stand By comes on, people just tune out because
it's like 20-minute credits for some reason. The longest credits out of
you gotta give. Hey man, you got to give credit where the credit is due for sure, absolutely. But yeah, I love it how they're just like, oh, like you got to tune in next week to find out what it's. That's what I love. Like this is classic television, when it comes to like these, even like crazy and sappy as these soap like dramas are, soap operas are. It's like they do have, they reel people in week to week, and that's what you're supposed to do with these episodes. It's like you're supposed to have these like not giant cliffhangers, but something to like, hey, like I want to see more now, but I can't. Gotta wait till next week. So I'm definitely gonna keep Disney Plus at least until this series is over. It's brilliant, but I'm really interested to see how it all fits together. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it once all 9 episodes are out and just have a blast and be like, oh yeah, like just picking up on the small things. It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, WandaVision, Wanda admitting that she might be the villain of this series, and there's been rumors going around that I guess we still haven't seen the big reveal yet, because I guess Pietro wasn't the big reveal, even though I thought it was. But I mean, people are saying, Professor X, James McAvoy, Ian McKellen, Michael Fassbender. I'm hoping it's Michael Fassbender. I'm not going to lie. I will probably lose my marbles. But who do you guys think this big, this big reveal is supposed to be? Do you think it is supposed to be Mr. Fantastic?
To me, it's down to John Krasinski, Mr. Fantastic, or Magneto. Like those are the 2 like huge appearances that I think it could be.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So
that's where I'm leaning to.
Anakin
I mean, I feel like
Darth Vader.
Yeah. Well, I feel like since now that Evan Peters is there, people are just like, oh, we can check out the most obnoxious Kobe's to like who's going to show up. And I mean, I think on the same page, John Krasinski seems. I don't know about that one. That one seems, for me at least.
I think if it was him, it would have had to be this episode, the Office episode. Like,
honestly, yeah.
Unless they drag it, they mix some of it into next week's episode as well. We don't know what the themes are from the last 2 episodes,
or if there's a theme at all.
Yeah,
because I was thinking we were done with the sitcoms. Like I thought, like that was supposed to be the
Modern Family is pretty modern, so.
There was one shot with Elizabeth Olsen, more modern day clothes. I mean, yeah, I guess it was. I don't know if that was just cut for the trailer, because they always use footage for the trailer that they never end up using for the actual for the actual series. But I'll have to find it. But maybe it is just. I mean, I feel like now that we know that Agatha is behind everything, at least for now, we still have to, there's still questions between the hacks and what they're doing with Vision's body, because we find out that, the guy's name, I'm blanking on his name. He is after, Yeah, he is after Vision.
Yeah, we didn't mention at the very beginning. He mentions that they're launching something. Like they're about to attack. Like right now.
Yeah.
What do they expect? Like launch a nuke in there and like what do they think they're gonna do? I don't know. That whole subplot now. I mean, besides the fact that they're trying to use Vision as a weapon, I'm like, let's just like throw that out. Like we got Monica, we got all that.
They just need to lose already. Like they're gonna lose.
I just want to see Jimmy Woo do some some sweet more.
Give me a Jimmy Woo spinoff.
we need the Wanda versus Agatha versus Jimmy Woo close up magic like 3-way battle. Like I need
Jimmy Woo's the real magician behind all of it.
Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of magicians, we do see that Wanda is starting to lose control of just pretty much everything. Again, we still don't know if that is Agatha's doing or if it is just Wanda, kind of going all over the place because she like freaks out, goes on the complete defense as soon as she sees Monica Rambeau. And it's like I was watching Film Theory's video about it. It came out, I think, around like a day or two ago, but it's still pretty relevant. Matt Pat was saying that WandaVision is like a PlayStation 4. And she's trying to run Cyberpunk 2077.
Sounds about right.
I was like, yeah, just an OG PS4 trying to run CD Projekt Red's latest endeavor. Can't really call it a failure because of the whole PC thing. But yeah, I was just like, wow, that's actually like scary accurate. And that video came out before episode 7 and like thinking back, and he was I was watching it trying to see it if some of his theories were correct. Some were, some weren't, but he was pretty spot on for a few things there, especially with the disappearance of Billy and Tommy. So but I've been talking to you forever. Was there anything you guys wanted to kind of touch on here before we wrap up here for our episode this week? Jack, anything else you wanted to kind of?
No, I mean, I think we kind of covered it. Better episode than last week, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I am a fan of the weekly episodic. It's like an event, it's something to look forward to. But I mean, I feel like they need to handle their pacing a bit better because like, I'm hoping the last 2 episodes are around an hour long. I mean, because I think we are out of the sitcom land now, I think. And I truly hope that we are, because I think if they do 2 more half-an-hour episodes to end out, it's not going to be enough time.
Oh, there's no way.
There's no way. There's no way. There's not enough time. So I'm really hoping that, now that we are out of sitcom land, I'm hoping that it's like, okay, it's time, to really get crazy with everything.
Yeah, I think it is, and especially with that mid-credit scene where Monica's going up to Agatha's house, and we still haven't seen Ralph, by the way. Where is he?
Was he that fly on the drape? Is he the bunny? Who knows?
Oh yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Is he the fly on the drape? That's right. Yeah, so we see Monica, snooping around her house, and then out of nowhere, we haven't seen Uncle Pietro this entire episode, and he's like, what did he say?
Snooper's gonna snoop or something like that.
Yeah, Snooper's gonna snoop. I'm like, oh, there we go.
But is he working for Agatha, or is he also snooping around? That's the question.
I think he's being controlled by Agatha,
through
and through, because they showed it in the Agatha song or whatever that she was controlling.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he was conjured up by Agatha, or if he showed up on his own accord and then got under her control.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. We got 2 more episodes left. There's rumors that it doesn't have a happy ending. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. It's just
by Vision.
By Vision, or
third time.
Or maybe Wanda probably does become a villain at some point, because she has been through so much trauma. And we actually forgot to talk about really quick Darcy and Vision. Their little
that was a cute little duo there.
Yeah,
good chemistry.
Pretty much Darcy giving Vision the recap over the past like 10 years of everything that happened with him and whatnot. And he's like, and I died twice. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of like when Thanos in Endgame, past Thanos was watching future Thanos, all the events, trying to, get caught up with what's going on. He's like, ooh, I said that? It's like, no way. It's like, yeah, that kind of thing. But yeah, I pretty much think we covered it all for this week's episode. Jack, we actually like to rate each episode out of 100. So I guess for episode 7 of WandaVision, what would you rate it out of 100?
Sheesh. Okay, I got to think about that. I'd probably... Well, the last 10 minutes plus the Monica stuff is pretty good. It's just kind of the beginning that drag. I'd give it maybe an 80 out of 100.
Okay. All right.
Pretty good.
All right. Fair enough. Devin?
Now, over these past few weeks, we've been mentioning how the episodes have gotten better every week in our eyes. But I think this might be the first dip for me.
Okay. I wouldn't call it a dip. I would say it's more of a lateral. For sure, because I did enjoy this episode, but yeah, the last like 10 to 15 minutes were definitely. I feel like everyone was like trying to get to the end. Part
of the thing is the issue of everyone just kind of theorizing the whole week and our expectations getting too high for what we actually got. Because we were all expecting John Krasinski to show up.
I was not expecting John to show up. I didn't know who it was going to be. And I was like, I was going to check Twitter for like a hot second right before I started watching. I'm like, no, I can't even do that.
Just imagine the meta memes they could create. John Krasinski and Jimmy Woo on the same screen. So there's two gyms. I mean,
two gyms.
How can you pass that up?
An Asian gym. My God, that was probably one of the best cold openings. Like, any TV show I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, so what would you give this score, Devin, out of 100?
I'll give it an 85.
Okay.
Solid.
Okay. I think I'll go right there with you. I'll give it an 86 just because I think everyone's just a little bit impatient. They want to see what happens, and I think that is part of the whole binging versus weekly debate. People kind of just want to get to the end so they can move on to whatever else they want to watch. But just letting you guys know, you get an episode of WandaVision each week and you can work on your backlog, watch other shows or movies that you haven't been able to watch for a while. Go watch Judah and the Black Messiah. Go watch, I don't know, even with Marvel, go watch Jessica Jones or Punisher. They're officially part of the MCU family now. We're back at Marvel as of today. So that there's always that, or, just, it's always good to space out. Like, I feel like it's just rushing. Like, oh, I got to get through it. So I can get on to the next thing. Let's take it down. Let's take it slow. Because I know a lot of you guys out there, again, you were more than willing to wait each week for Game of Thrones. Granted, the episodes were a little bit longer, but still, it's still a week-to-week thing. And let's just all not get our panties in a bunch out there for all you listeners. We love you guys. We're here because of you guys too as well. So with that being said, we're going to close out here in a minute. Just really quick, Jack, I wanted to give you the opportunity, let everyone know where they can find you again, and what is coming up on your channel, and what projects you're working on.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said at the beginning, I run the YouTube channel Fanatic Films. I've got a lot of movie reviews coming up. The next 2 days, tomorrow I've got a Nomadland review coming up, and then the day after that I'm covering the movie I Care a Lot with Rosamund Pike.
Yeah, I got to see that this weekend.
Good. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And then getting ready to do South by Southwest. I'm covering that in March, as well as doing coverage of all the award season stuff. And then once Falcon and Winter Soldier starts up, I'm doing weekly recaps of that as well. Yeah. And a lot of exciting stuff coming to my channel, and I have a blog website that I do written reviews. You guys can check all that out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, I had a blast. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Oh, dude, it was our pleasure. Like, seriously. Yeah, good times. Like, seriously, thank you for coming on as well, Jack. I know you're a busy man, theorizing about WandaVision and whatnot. So it's really nice to have people on. Absolutely. So as far as for us moving forward, I believe Devin and I and possibly Jacob might be joining us for our Cherry review. This coming up like Monday or Tuesday. I think the embargo is like on the 25th. I watched it last week, so I'm clear and good, so I can start watching other things. I did watch Nomadland, by the way. I watched it was a few months ago for my association's Film Critics Association that I'm a part of. So I liked it a lot. It wasn't necessarily my favorite, but I did appreciate like the cinematography for sure. But you know, it is definitely Oscar worthy for sure. So yeah, besides our Cherry review that's coming up, there's a lot of stuff coming out in March. You know, we're going to be covering Solar Opposites, Godzilla versus Kong, Zack Snyder's Justice League, of course, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Invincible. There's Raya and the Last Dragon. Jeez, there's just so much stuff coming out in March. It is. I think we might have to pick and choose, but there's definitely going to be ones that we have to review. But with that said, let's just close out here. And that's a wrap for today, everyone. Thank you all for listening, and make sure to check out the other shows over on MusicCityDrivein.com and subscribe to our show so you never miss an episode. That was Devin, Jack, and my name is Christian, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace. There we go. Boom.